And we should now be live. Good evening, everyone. I hope you don't mind if we don't put music on today, just because it saves me messing around with something. And I don't want to be, doing the whole stream as a discussion stream, so we'll just deal with the nice sounds of the lagoons in the background. How are we all doing, first of all? Hello, Chad. I am doing okay, more or less. How are you? King Giga, I hate you. Hello, Berenson. Yes, so the plan for this stream, it was just going to be Prehistoric Kingdom, then Frontier did a Frontier. And instead of doing a video on it tomorrow, which frankly I can't be asked to do because I've got plenty of other stuff to be doing tomorrow, I thought we'd just talk about it for sort of the first half hour or so, and then we'll go play Prehistoric Kingdom. So, what we have here, actually, let's start with something else. Let's before we get into the big thing, let's actually talk about something else first. Actually, a couple of things to talk about first. So the roster video led to a huge jump in subs, which is amazing. It's nice to see a video of mine actually do well this year, so that's good. We're nearly at 3,500. We're a bit off what I wanted to be by the end of this year, but it's nice to see us still growing. But yes, let's start with the Deinonychus redesign. I think it's really good. Generally, one of the concerns I had when they revealed that Deinonychus was going to have a feathered variant coming in was I didn't want it to just look like Utahraptor. So I was a bit concerned that they were just going to do a Utahraptor with it and it would just end up being the same but slightly smaller. But this is really visually distinctive comparison. I absolutely love the sort of beaver tail that it has going on, at least the male. And it's nice that there's actually some really significant sexual dimorphism going on here between the male and the female. One of the better examples of sexual dimorphism I've seen for the game so far. So I think it looks really cool. I actually really like that skin as well, the grey with this sort of fiery orange striping. I think that looks really, really good. Well, King Giga, we only lost 12, but we've gained over 80. So, take that as it comes. But yeah, this is a really good redesign, and I hope that they will consider redesigning some of the other animals as time goes on, because Deinonychus is not the only one that I think has some controversy surrounding it. Two others spring instantly to mind that we will be talking about in a minute. But yes, the Deinonychus I absolutely really, really like. So that's some really good knowledge. And yet BC Gaming, so they've already confirmed that both the tadpole basilisk frill version and this version will have babies and female. So we're basically getting 2 in 1 here, which is glorious as far as I'm concerned. Also, why is chat showing our usernames and not display names? I'm not really sure. You know what YouTube is like, or is it a setting I need to select? No idea. Anyway, let's move on to the bigger topic at hand, shall we? And that is what Frontier announced, then didn't announce, then re-announced today. So, at the top, we have the species that are coming back. 19 of them in total. Which are the base game animals from Jurassic World Evolution 2 on the day it was launched. On the bottom, we have the other 20 animals that are still cut, and they are all DLC or Deluxe Edition animals. Now, I want to start with the positives, as Rob Earth has said quite a few times lately. Let's not just be negative. Let's start with the positives. The fact that Amargasaurus, Camarasaurus, and Nigersaurus are coming back is a good thing. The sauropod roster as it stands right now is so lacking in diversity, especially in terms of size. So those 3 sauropods coming back, really, really important, really good. And by Jingo, Amarga is one of my favorite species of all time, so I'm so glad that's coming back, and I cannot wait to see what they do for the sexual dimorphism. I think Camarasaurus, it would be nice if it had a remake model, because the head is wrong. Let's just put it like that. The head is totally wrong, so it would be nice if they remodel that. Kentrosaurus, Polacanthus, Euoplocephalus. I'm glad that one of Britain's armored dinosaurs is coming back. Good old Polacanthus. It's nice to see our local paleontology represented. Euoplocephalus being one of the more famous members of the group. Yeah, good, that's coming back. Crichtonsaurus. I'll be honest, I think Crichtonsaurus could have remained cut. What was that? I don't usually get texts at this time of night. Oh, it's a spam.
Yay!
I've been missold car finance, apparently.
What?
I know, right?
You can drive?
Anyway, carrying on. Yeah, the Crichtonsaurus, I think, could have stayed cut, only because it's an incredibly dubious species anyway. But I'm still glad it's coming back for the size diversity. Let's look at the carnivores next. Carcharodontosaurus, Cryolophosaurus, Majungasaurus. Karkar, I hope it gets redesigned, because it's really awful now. It really does need to be redesigned. Cryolopho, I'm so glad that's coming back, because it's one of the more interesting dinosaurs, one of the only polar dinosaurs we have in the roster, and it has a quite unique crest. So, there's interesting sexual dimorphism they could do there with the Cryolophosaurus. Majungasaurus, I don't really... again, I think it could have stayed cut or come back later in a DLC for Chaos Theory, because that's what we were all assuming was going to happen anyway. So yeah, not too fussed about Majungasaurus, if I'm honest. Elasmosaurus, Liplorodon, Tylo. I think all 3 of these lagoon animals desperately need remodeling. They're all pretty bad. Tylo especially, and Liplorodon especially. I am glad that some of the base lagoon animals will come back. Elasmo is one of the most famous aquatic reptiles of all time, so the fact it was not there to begin with was so strange. And we do need something that is, in terms of size, between Ichthy and Megalodon, At the moment we have some small animals and we have some big animals. We have nothing in the middle. So it's good, again, that those animals are coming back. Liplorodon definitely needs a redesign, yeah. Even though I actually quite kind of like how it looks. Now, I will defend how it looks currently. I think a general redesign wouldn't be a bad thing. Hello, Colt. Wouldn't it be cool to see the Jurassic Park the game Tylo appear? Yeah, I mean, obviously that depiction is going to be copyright protected by Telltale Games or whoever owns the stuff that Telltale Games made, because obviously that company doesn't exist anymore. But if they could perhaps find a model that's kind of not exactly like their version, but kind of along similar lines, kind of a homage to that version, then that would be pretty cool. We'll get to the reselling bit in a bit. Pterodactylus, Marodactylus, couldn't give a damn about either of them. I think they could have remained cut, frankly. Dracorex, again, could have remained cut. Oranosaurus, I really hope they redesign it because I just don't like either models, but I'm glad it's coming back. Pentaceratops, again, I'm glad that's coming back. It's the biggest of the ceratopsians. It should be, coming back. And I look forward to seeing the sexual dimorphism there. Torosaurus, as much as I adore the Torosaurus design from Walking with Dinosaurs, I don't think Torosaurus is one of those animals we need back. I think having it in the roster is completely superfluous now that we have Loki Ceratops. No one's going to pick Toro over Loki any day of the week. So, and Kentro obviously being the first of the species coming back. Again, I think it's weird that another Camp Cretaceous species that they could have put in the DLC is coming back, considering the bottom picture, which we'll get to in a sec. Overall, I'm glad that a lot of these are coming back. I do have some middling concerns about them. Primarily, are there going to be a lot of redesigns to the ones that are coming back? And I don't think all of them deserve to come back. I don't think Crichtonsaurus, Dracorex, Toro, Pterodactylus, Marodactylus deserve to come back. I think there's a handful that we really wouldn't be too bad not to have them. I don't even think Tylo is one of those that we kind of need to have back, but it's good we're getting them back. But comparing the ones that are coming back to the ones that are not, I do think it's quite clear the ones that are not coming back are better. Just look at the ones we're not getting back. Dinocaris is a big one. Gigantoraptor is a big one. Notho, Archelon, Styxo are big ones. I think Barbarodactylus and Sungaripterus are better than Pterodactylus and Marodactylus. I certainly think Monolophosaurus is probably better than, say, Dracorex or even Torosaurus. I think Werhosaurus is better than Kentrosaurus. I personally think Minmi is better than Crichtonsaurus. I think Pachyrhinosaurus is better than Torosaurus. I think I would rather have Megalosaurus than Majungasaurus. And this is where I think that the Reddit conversation ever since this came about has been very interesting, because there are some people that are saying, we're getting 19 species back for free, you shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth, which is a perfectly acceptable position to take. We are getting some animals back for free, that's good. But, let us not forget that Jurassic World Evolution 2 came with all of Jurassic World Evolution 1's animals as standard. They didn't make us repay for anything apart from the hybrids and Hwango. Jurassic World Evolution 3, they're already making us pay for Thanatos Dracon and Concavinator again. And some of the animals from Jurassic World Evolution 2 are still not there on launch, because remember, these animals that we're getting back are being drip fed to us. 19 animals. So if we assume that we get one a month after launch, which I think is very optimistic, it's still going to be over a year, nearly 2 years, before we get those 19 animals back. Assuming we get one a month. They might do it a different way, but since they only specifically mention Kentro on its own as the first one coming, I suspect it's going to be one each time. At least to begin with. I think when it comes to I'm on the fence, and I'm in the middle. The metaphor I used earlier on was this is like going to a Michelin star restaurant and you order something on a massive plate and it comes out on a huge plate, but it's like a tiny little thing in the middle of the plate. It tastes very nice and it's good, but you do wonder, could there not have been more on the rest of the plate? That's the way I'm kind of seeing it. Because I am with Evo here. If future DLC packs are here's two Jurassic World Evolution 2 DLC animals and then 2 others, I'm going to be pretty ticked off. Like, how many of these creatures are we going to have to pay for again? I suspect Hwango is gone for good, which really pisses me off, because I'm like, that was base game Jurassic World Evolution 1, and then you made it deluxe edition for Jurassic World Evolution 2 for no reason, and as a result now it's probably cut for good. Like, why did you do that? It kind of retroactively makes that Jurassic World Evolution 2 deluxe edition decision worse for me. It really grinds my gears. Hello, Kairu. No, we're just talking about the news today. I don't mind waiting if we aren't paying, but I understand why people aren't in the same camp I am. Yeah, like I said, I think if you look at the situation, I can understand both sides of the argument. Yes, we are getting stuff for free. That's good. That shouldn't be ignored. On the other hand, we're losing still quite a lot of good species. Species that arguably people would have wanted more than, say, Sintao, or Archaeornithomimus, or Dracorex, or Torosaurus. So I think there's a balance in the middle. It will probably be faster than one a month. Yeah, I mean, like I say, that's just an a guess. It's a random guess. I could see them doing a couple a month, or saving them for specific free updates. I would certainly hope that we have... My best scenario would be we have all of those returning 19 animals within a year. I don't think that's unreasonable. 19 animals in a period of a year. Especially if that year is then going to include probably a dinosaur pack or 2 and an expansion, hopefully. Not exactly happy with the DLC species having to be paid for again. Yeah, I mean, I never realized liking Dracorex was controversial. I think Dracorex, I think it's fine to like it. There are a lot of people that like it, but I think generally, I think Dracorex is one of the lower popularity animals. Just from what I've seen in Evo streams over the past, God knows how many years. I don't think that Kentrosaurus is going to be the only one as the first returning post-launch for free. Maybe there'll be another to join it. I mean, maybe. We'll see how it goes. The other thing, as well as Colt mentioned about the reselling, is obviously this time it's not just a straight-up copy-paste job. There are a male variant to make and a baby variant to make, and then the animations to go along with that, which I think does quite complicate the idea of, is it a straight-up reselling? I'm not sure what I feel about that, if I'm honest. I'm generally not a fan of reselling anything that has already been paid for. I think it's quite scummy. It's an EA tactic. Especially given the Jurassic World Evolution 3 is obviously copy-pasted animations across from Evolution 2, so some of the work is already done. Even so, I don't think that a male and baby variation is really enough to warrant replacing a new species like Plateosaurus or Inostrancevia. It's about money. Let me ask you guys a question, because I'm curious what your responses would be to here. Would you guys had preferred the game be delayed 6 months, but came with all 122 animals? Just curious what you guys think. Let's say in some hypothetical world they had announced last month that the game was being delayed to create all of the rest of the animals. So Chad is like, delay it to get all species. Yeah, maybe 6 months is unrealistic, but, assume a delay in general. Extra dev time. No, not really. I think drip feeding them is fine, says Colt. It is an interesting hypothetical to ask. I was just curious what folks' opinion was. But yeah, I'm in general about the news, I'm kind of very half and half about it. I think it's good that we have clarity on at least some of them. And I'm personally glad about Imago and Cryolopho and Polacanthus. Those three I am very happy about. And Niger, to be fair. I think Niger gets unfairly forgotten about. But at the same time, I'm like, there are a lot of other animals people kind of want more. And I am so surprised about the duck. Do you think they're doing... Do you think duck has... Because I think Dinocaris, I think, is one of the most obvious examples of, like, an animal we all thought would be safe. Why do you think that Dinocaris isn't in the base game? Do you think there is something they're doing? Maybe, they're keeping it for a semi-aquatic pack down the line or something, maybe? Because Dinocaris is one of sort of a number of those still cut ones, which I'm like, why is it not here? It's such a popular animal. I'm not sure why they'd have kept it back except for a themed pack, maybe. Perhaps it's the rig? Could be, it does have a bit of a peculiar rig. I'm also curious to see if they'll use the free updates to improve things like staff or guest AI. I remember back in the day, us Jurassic World Evolution 2 players hoping that they would use free updates to improve the guest AI and the scientist system, and they didn't. So, I don't know. I suspect if we go based on the other games, probably not. Anyway, bear with me one moment, and I will get Prehistoric Kingdom on the go. Since we have a big cat enclosure to finish. If it swims, animating it may be a bit difficult. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Potentially it's just an awkward animal for them to work on. I feel that they didn't have any planned cut species, so they worked on random species until they realized they don't have time. My main concern is losing new species for the returning ones sold back. Yeah, but here is where we come to an interesting conversation again, Kairu, because I think it was generally agreed that 122 animals was already quite a lot. And I think we all thought that some of the 122 could have been cut anyway. So, in realism terms, how many what realistically are the big species we don't yet have that really we do definitely necessarily need to have? Like, what are the big ones? Plateosaurus is one I would say is a big one. But apart from that, I don't really know. Maybe Lambiosaurus. Well, thinking just about dinosaurs, Kairu. So specifically dinosaurs, not, you know, Gorgonopsids or stuff. I still can't believe that they haven't fixed this. Ugh, right. So I want to get on just doing this side of the enclosure today. So that's literally all I'm going to work on. Oh, look, he's swimming! He didn't swim for long, did he? He was like, yeah, no. Fuck that shit. He was not particularly eager to swim for very long, was he? There was something I downloaded from the workshop that I wanted to put in here, which I think might be... Is that too small for them? I mean, how big are they? I think that's a reasonable size. I can scale it up a little. That's true, I could just scale it up a bit. Thank you. Oh no, I can't scale it up. It doesn't have scaling editing. Is that in the ground? Oh, no. That is fine. I think we do want to change some of the style. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's change the wall material to... Wall material. Oh, okay, sorry. Whoops. Metal's a bit much. That's also a bit much. We have something that looks a little bit more rustic. There we go. Bamboo. What's this for? Oh, the bridges. Let's give him metal bridges. And then the roof material, I'm thinking... Oh, kind of like that. Okay, that looks good. I like that. Stone Age definitely has some nice options. I do want to do a little bit of altering here. I think these... Why is these like 4 pieces? Surely one would have been alright. This is what I mean about like some of the problems that modular building is gonna create that people haven't really thought about. Is it isn't just as simple as like plonking an object down a lot of the time. I'm sure Colt can attest to that. I also don't like how some of these walkways are positioned. So I'm just gonna improve some of these. Can we make this one a little sharper? I really love the soundtrack to this game. How do I check if this is workable again? It's not that button, this button. And I need to actually click on... Ah, can I click on just any animal that's not in the middle of a tunnel, please? Apparently not. Where are they all? Or am I just blind? There they are. So, that's not very helpful. Don't know if this is navigatable. We'll have to wait and see if any of them use it. I did want them to use the tunnels. That is true. So I think we need some. Just want to kind of not overload it, but blend it in a little. PC Gaming, I really hope that there won't be a limit on how low the terrain can go inside the aviary. I think that I'm just going to build a bloody compost heap to get rid of that alarm. Unfortunately, I kind of think there has to be. Because otherwise, I think the animals, the pterosaurs, won't be able to work. So I suspect there has to be a limit. I just hope that the limit is not stupidly small. I would have assumed a compost heap would have been. The hell? Surely it would have been. Oh. Just get rid of that bloody alert over there. Right. I think we need to place some trees down around here. Alright, and then we can just use the planting for the rest. Oh, hello, Minecraft. Oh, how did the exam go? Oh, the Quetzalcoatlus looks so weird in the aviaries as they are. They really needed to be taller. And to be honest, that Quetz is so oversized. Where are the flowers? There they are. Ignore structures, no. Here's a question I have. Will they eat from a feeder if it's placed on top of a thing? There's one of the original ones. I'm just gonna... place one of these up here. Curious to see if they'll come and eat from it. They will, yes, if they can get to it. Ah. Okay. Okay, this one we will have moved over there. We'll move this one over to here. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, well. What should we do with the other bits in here? I'm sure there are some pre-constructed... Yes, I know that perhaps using pre-constructed bits is not in the spirit of the game, but... I mean, the whole point of this sort of build was to experiment, but also... You know, not spend a million hours building everything. It's all about learning. I have also, however, come to a sort of realization about this game and how I've so far tackled building on it. And I think one of the problems is I'm still building like I think this is Jurassic World Evolution. Or to be fair, Zoo Tycoon. Like, I'm still building as if I'm in those games. You can sort of see it by the fact I've got, like, I built the the fence around the edge and putting everything in the fence, and I'm not really thinking like a sort of zoo builder, I guess. You know, I'm still seeing every enclosure as just an enclosure. So I think what I need to do to improve my building is kind of... I need to get away from this idea of just the fencing, I guess. I need to think about building enclosures as more than just the fencing around it and stuff, so... I'm probably not doing a very good job of explaining what I mean. Oh! Oh. Some of the clipping needs to be adjusted, but oh. Yeah, I definitely think some of these bridges? Yeah, whoever put them in, I'm gonna have words with you about doing a better job. But yeah, it kind of works. That's good enough for me for now. know, I don't think that's too bad. Fletcher, what is your thoughts on the first clip for Prehistoric Planet Ice Age? It was kind of cute. I definitely miss David Attenborough doing the voiceover. But it's definitely it was definitely cute. This water is a bit empty. I think it needs something in it. Can we get rid of the obvious palm tree? Cute. One. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, I agree, Fletcher, and while I do have Minecraft to help with the mentality, I do still agree that it's difficult to have not to have a certain mindset, yeah. Question, yeah, so how easy the modular building is going to work on console is sort of something I'm thinking about, because really having a mouse is very necessary for getting like the fine movements. And yes, I know you can get mouses for consoles, but I don't think a lot of players actually do it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Her voice is a bit stuck there. Right, so what I want to do now that this enclosure is more or less done, I'm happy with this as it is. I'm glad they've got some, you know, some form of enrichment. I think that's a system definitely missing from Jurassic World Evolution 2, or 3. I kind of want to move on to another exhibit. But what I want to do with the next exhibit is try and get out of the Jurassic World Evolution 2 mindset. So let's find an area of where we want to put it. But by the way, so this sort of hillish area, I don't want the park to be much bigger than what I've already flattened, because this is obviously just a first. This is a, you know, a test. So kind of over here. I'm thinking over here. So the width, we'll make it 8 meters. And we'll go from here, and then we'll go... Just gonna go straight over. And let's use a nice drawing tool. And let's... So the next enclosure is basically going to be in this area here. Now, I think it's a good thing to go and have a figure out what animal we want to do it for. And again, I'm thinking not something enormous. So, didn't we have some new ones announced recently? Little cuties. Maybe another mammal. Oh, the oviraptors. A Spinosaurus. I think that area might be a bit small. Spinosaurus? I think it might be Oviraptor. Oh, those galleys are quite nice. Maybe Megalocaris? Oh, we could do Megalocaris, I guess. It's another mammal. Oh, Lileniasaura. Okay. So what do I want to do with the habitat? Where was this? I really like this dome. I want to use this dome somewhere. I just want to have a look and see what I can do with this dome. So, how easy is it going to be to cut bits out of it? Reasonably easy. Can I upscale it? I can. Okay, here's a thought. I want to kind of connect. Yeah. I want to kind of connect 3 of these domes together. I want one to be kind of here. And then I want to do... I want to do a bigger one. Kind of in the middle. So... But it needs to be, like, really connected, so... There-ish. Something like that. Actually, maybe it's going to be a better idea to... And this one will actually make slightly smaller. And then connect, you know, use the domes as the habitat. That is the plan. So, let's start with I think an entrance in here. So that will be our entrance. So, how we connect the domes together is the question. Kind of. You could make a sky bridge type thing either with a heightened sleeping space for an animal or for guests to walk through. Well, custom llamas will decide on the insides once we've got kind of the dome. Because this is the first problem is the dome. I need to figure out how to, like, connect. Ah! Okay, so if that is them connected, so I delete that and that. Okay. Oh, all that Z fighting. Let's delete these glass panels. Okay, and then on this side, so we need to delete that, that, that. Okay. It's not perfect. Obviously, there's a lot of Z fighting going on, but I'm not a master architect, and I have no idea how to make that neater, to be brutally honest. But, you know, that's connected. And it's not too bad. And then this one kind of have over here. I think if we just twist it. Then, so this will be the exit. And that's actually coming in quite a lot. I want it to be that clippy. Let's smooth it slightly. Why has the music stopped? Sure, Colt is probably watching this going, oh, why is he doing it a more difficult way than it needs to be? Right. Wow, these domes are really... I don't like all the flickering. Why are they flickering so much? Is it just the Z fight? If so, that's really annoying. Yeah, it's not. It's just... Ugh. It's annoying. But I can put up with it for now. These pillars here are going to be a problem. I delete them. Doesn't really affect the overall design too badly, I think. Okay. Work in progress. I've seen someone saying the paleontologists are woke for ruining dinosaurs. Ah, the woke dinosaur thing. Yeah, this I remember the first place I saw it was after Prehistoric Planet came out. And it... I hate the path tool in this game. I hate the path tool in this game. Yeah, and people criticize Prehistoric Planet because, you know, it had feathered dinosaurs, and apparently having feathered dinosaurs made them gay is one particular comment that I remember seeing. What I'm thinking of doing is having like another bridge in here. But I might try and build it myself. Okay, I'll tell you one thing I do want to do, is I want to put a wall around this. Doesn't have to be a particularly tall one, I'm just thinking something like that. Yeah. I'm concentrating so hard my tongue is sticking. I am one of those weird people that stick their tongues out when they're concentrating. Old school much, yeah. I mean, I still can't understand the position that, you know, just because it doesn't have scales, it's therefore no longer cool. It's kind of in the same league of, oh, well, feathered dinosaurs aren't scary. Uh-huh. I mean, I personally don't find scaled animals that scary. If you're, you know, going to be a douchebag about it and be like, oh, well, just because an animal has scales and because the human body has been, the human brain predetermines anything covered in scales as bad. That's why people think snakes are slimy. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, so here is my thinking. I want to create like a three-way sort of enclosure. For, you know, probably Oviraptor, Galley maybe, or Lileniasaura. But this, I want to try and do a tunnel or bridge. Maybe have an underpass through each of the domes under the path. That's my thinking. And then I'm thinking the largest enclosure will be below path level. But then these two side enclosures will be at path level. That's my thought. So I suppose the first thing I need to do is lower the terrain in here. That's not enough. I recommend you watch a 2D short film called Tears of the Mountain. Why do you recommend I watch said film? I'm curious, I haven't heard of it. It's a masterpiece. That's what people said about Rebirth. I don't mind about this, because obviously we're going to build an underpass. I do wonder if that's enough height, though. I think I might have to make it lowest. I'll tell you one thing that it would be really nice for them to introduce into this game. Contour lines. Like Evolution has. It would be so handy to actually see how deep the hole is that I have dug in terms of measuring it on contour lines. It is one of the few things Evolution did introduce, which I think was a really good thing, was those contour lines. Right. That's a better depth. I'm happier with that depth. I'm going to delete that. And this little bit we can just sort of cover up with a rock or something. I just want to get like the basic... slope to her. Oh, I remember having this problem. Yeah. It can be very picky, this bloody game. So the bridge just has to go kind of in here. Which is fine by me. Okay. Figure out how the animals are going to get up and down in a minute. So, I need to design a bridge. Let's find some flat ground to work with. Actually, before I do that, let's sort of estimate how many. So, I reckon. Let me inside. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe 7, just to. So we're going to build it here on this grid. Going to use grid. What material shall we make the bridge from? I'm thinking glass. Or the bottom, anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anything? They're a bit big. Also, why are they not attaching to the same grid? This is one of the elements I don't get. I don't understand. Oh, that's better. Okay. Can we? What do people think? Do we think metal or concrete? I do kind of really like these little concrete hedgehogs. Hello, Evolution Square. I didn't see you there. Some new bridge building. Bridge building is taking place, yes. Okay. So we'll put these at either end. And then I think we'll use the taller ones in the middle. I would like to string something between them. Maybe swerve. I mean, maybe some wood or rope. Actually, I just think some metal poles. So what we need, 1, 2... No, that's silly. We need 2 here, 2 here, and then I think let's do like a proper girder in the middle. Okay. Angle snap to 10 degrees. Okay, so that's lying flat on the ground. I think we can all say that that is definitely flat. Yes. And then 10 degrees is naturally not going to line up. That is a little. Ag. Shit. Okay. There must be an easier way of doing this. 90 degrees will allow me to drop it to the floor straight away, but it's not straight. It's little things like that that makes... It's one of my biggest annoyances with modular games, is that things don't work the way you think they will. Oh. I didn't want to do that. Okay. That is straight enough. Snap to 10 degrees. Let's make it 20 degrees. Angle up. Okay. Lengthen. Needs to be a little bit longer. And I think a little bit down. Okay. Now if I duplicate that, I can just drag that one across. Okay. Let's deal with this one. Down by 90. Rotate. You'll be sticking around with evolution too. I mean, I've still got technically 2 parks to finish in that game. Okay. Snap to 20 degrees. I do a quick estimation, I think it's like the right length to me. Again, I've just realized I've probably done this the wrong way around. What you would probably do to be most efficient is you'd build one side of this, then you'd duplicate it and just rotate it for the other side. It's such a weird... You really do have to totally change how you think about building from modular building. You basically have to do it like as efficiently as possible. It's build a structure or half a structure and then duplicate. That's what you're gonna have to do. Me side-eyeing Jurassic Park Japan. Are you bringing great dishonor to your family? It's a little brutalistic, but I don't necessarily mind that. I'm kind of... I don't mind it being a little brutalistic. We can hang stuff from it. Okay. What else do we need on it? Barriers, probably. Thinking about it. we don't want people falling in, even though they're not going to be falling into anything that's particularly dangerous, unless the paleontologists were wrong and Lileniasaura was a evil, vicious predator all along. Ah. There is method in my madness. Actually, there wasn't, because I only needed to do one of those. You see what I mean? I'm so used to thinking like JWE, where it's like, I need to place all of these down and then I need to move them all where I want them. instead of I need to place one of these down and then I just need to copy and duplicate it. Such a weird feeling. It's like not knowing how to play a fucking game anymore. Okay, and then all I have to do is select these and duplicate and move. There we go. Now I have to make sure they're lined up correctly. There we are. And hit the tick. I actually quite like that color combo as well, the woods with the concrete and the black. Right. So I now should just be able to move this, right? Okay. Let's just do a little adjustment over here. Means slope too high. Now, obviously I need to think about some support structure here, because that looks a bit bizarre. Always have to, I'm having to keep reminding myself to make sure I click edit the group, so it's all one thing. I think it would look quite good if we put some natural supports on this. See, that would work. That would work better. I think these would work much better. I want to make you a bit thinner. Sounded like Paul McKenna. I can make you thin. If you don't know who Paul McKenna is, he was a hypnotist slash therapy guru back in the early 2000s in especially in the UK. I don't know if he was a big thing elsewhere, but in the UK he was massive. And he just had a bunch of like pseudo-scientific nonsense about hypnotizing you until you make yourself thin and stop smoking and all that bollocks. It was all over TV in the early 2000s. in this country. Okay, that's good. I accidentally moved the one I'd already put down in a place I was happy with it. Because I didn't duplicate it, because I'm a moron. Oh god, I hope Jurassic World Evolution 3's modular building system is easier than this. Goodness me. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of paying attention to chat, am I? Let me, just catch up a bit. I want to make you a bit thinner, me to my reflection. I know that feeling, Evo. You would like to see us play Lethal Company for Halloween? That we could do, because I think I know quite a few people that have Lethal Company. I'm not really sure I like that now. It seems a bit too, like, I don't know, too blocky. This is another downside of modular building with me. I have a tendency to be very fussy. Like, if something doesn't look just right, I'll be like, yeah, that's not good enough. And that can be sometimes a bit of a problem. It's why I wasn't very good in woodwork and stuff like that when we did it at school, because I was always dreaming up very, like, overly complicated ideas. These look better. They look a bit stilty. No, I didn't. I don't like the duplicate tool sometimes. Okay, it looks a bit bizarre, but I prefer that because it gives them more... It gives more space down here. And we can make it look a little bit more substantial with some rocks here. I don't know what kind of environment we'll do for them in here. Maybe Africa, since we're doing Oviraptor. I don't think that's too bad. It's a simple bridge. Oops. I think it's big enough for what I want it to do. Okay, next thing I suppose I need to figure out is how the dinosaurs are getting in and out of this. So I'm thinking... Let's just smooth the terrain No. No, 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 no. I wanted you to be... less steep than that. But that's okay. That's fine. I'm sorry about the Z fighting on these glass panels. Whoever made this dome... Ugh. It needs to be improved. I'm sure there are better domes on the workshop. Is there any point even putting one in here? Yes, there is. Oh. Whoops. There we go. Right. We just need the same bridge. Maybe missing the middle bit? I think that just accidentally created multiple... Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay. Yeah, I think if we delete the middle section, maybe one of the sections in the middle. No. And squished all this lot up. Joy of modular building. Do I like pygmy hippos? I think pygmy anythings are cool. I was a bit disappointed the last time I went to the local museum here that the pygmy hippo was not around. Because I think pygmies are very adorable. Didn't do a very good job with these brackets, did I? Oh, by the way, folks, so me and Evo are still going to do our conversation, but we have decided that we'll do a post-launch conversation on JWE3 instead of a conversation about the Din event, which is now in our blissful memory. Why can't I just rotate this? Determined to get there. Huzzah! And in a little over 2 hours, I've... Oh, my word. I hate modular building. I don't. I think modular building is an amazing system. And Frontier definitely should get all the credit for having invented it in the first place, but... Goodness gracious, it can be... a test of patience. Not much of a pass through there. I don't particularly want to. It's only a small. Dome, and I'm determined to stick with the design. Camera can be as awkward as the bloody lagoon camera is in JWE2. It's alright, Eva, don't worry. You've been so ill lately. How is your throat, by the way? Fairly typical that you come over here for an event and then you get ill. Well, that's Cambridge. You had to go to Cambridge. Sort of filthy students. I joke, obviously, slightly. They are students. It's not perfect. But again, the point of this is not to be perfect. The point of this is to get the modular. The modular building has tedium to it. There's only 10 Asiatic cheetahs remaining in the entire world. That really is horrible. Right. So I guess what I need to do now is figure out what I want to do inside each dome. So again, let's do some good old classic painting. So I don't want the path to be right up against where the enclosure is. So I think what I might do is another reason I'm doing this, by the way, after something that Colt said to me, said last time out. I think okay, and then in here, this whole thing will be enclosure, and it's fine because then we just have this pool, and then in here, I think we'll go right up to the path. It's a smaller dome. Okay, so because I think that's quite a big area if you combine all three domes together. The voice is still not recovered. Crumbs. I wonder what it is you caught. It's not. I mean, I assume you've probably already checked to see it's not COVID. Would a small kiosk would fit it? You wouldn't have food in here. You would have a gift shop, but not a food. Not food. So gift shop, food, souvenir. I think a little souvenir stand makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to put it here. It's not COVID, no, I've never experienced this before. The voice was just so bad. Some sort of exotic London thing. I mean, given the underground, anything could have mutated down in there. Oddly enough, one of the recurring nightmares I used to have as a kid was being trapped in the London underground, being chased by Borg-assimilated velociraptors. I like this stone. Why are you curving that way? If there is one thing I will praise Jurassic World Evolution games for doing, it's for coming up with a bloody path and fence tool, which isn't a pain in the arse to use. The tool in those games is just so much nicer than any of the tools in these other ones. I have deliberately left an opening here because what I want to do is kind of build my own little fence bit here, because I'm thinking of having a nest arrangement going on here. What an on-brand nightmare. Exactly. So what I think I need is I need to make a thing. I want to use these. Okay. Comfy. How many do I want? Put one there. How many lines is that? Like 3-ish? Okay. That thing's massive. Why is everything so big? Maybe that's one of the other problems I'm going to have to encounter when modular building is everything in Britain is actually kind of small. Like, we don't have huge things. Even our zoos and stuff, you won't find massive buildings in them. It might have to be one of the other things I kind of have to get out of the habit of is using things that, or building stuff that's kind of very small. Can I make the glass thicker? I can. But I think I prefer you thin. It's another thing to say to yourself in the mirror. twice? Okay, what is wrong? Oh, God! No, 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 no. Oh. Buggerations. Why did undo not undo me accidentally duplicating it? Like 3 times. I wanted to know why this particular one was in the wrong place. Ooh. There we go. This one is going to have to be slightly longer. Ooh. No worries, Minecraft. My day's been okay. I've just been kind of having a relaxed day, really. Haven't done very much today. Righto, Custom, thank you for tuning in. What I'd like to do is turn this into a nest area. These 2 outer glass panels will probably be replaced. Have something that's a little less. Okay. And then these 2 middle ones I want to keep as they are. 44 notifications. It's just all the Protoceratops reproducing. God, they're like the fennec foxes in Zoo Tycoon 2. Okay, if I want to turn this into like a nesty thing, I need some rocks around the outside. So get rid of the grid, please. I find that very frustrating. So like 1 and then 2 and then like 1 and 2, something like that. But I want them. Rocks need to be thinner and they need to be taller. And they don't need to be punching through the terrain. Stop. The duplicate tool is kind of annoying sometimes, because it just duplicates the minute you click off something. which the base game doesn't do for everything else. You actually have to use the tick button to tell it is in the right place. Okay, and then I'm thinking we just put like a roof over the top of that. There is a really big flat rock, isn't there? Yes, you. I'm thinking long, make it wide. A more architecturally minded builder would probably use more than one. But I'm the sort of builder who's also mindful of I don't want my game to run well and not end up chugging. Like, what was the metaphor I used in my video for Jurassic World Evolution 2? Chugging like a killer whale spunk milkshake? Something like that.
What the fuck?
I know. I think... Even Dane was like, what the fuck?
Go back to Final Fantasy, damn you!
It's a bit simple, but, you know, it'll do. I just hope it's tall enough. But I think it should be. Okay, we want Africa. I suppose I need to think about where water's going to be as well. I can't believe how well the roster video did. I'm so glad I put it out before today's news. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say I'm glad that I have the advantage of having put that out before they announced all the roster changes today? Because, you know, it has boosted the channel a lot. A lot more than probably any other video this year. Right. So now I'm thinking water, and I'm thinking water pool in here somewhere. Pond water. We'll make it shallow, and I'm thinking something. No. Why have I left my? So thinking maybe we'll do like a. Few sort of ponds around. Make this one quite lush with pond water. But we'll just make this one a bit deeper. Hello there, Ark. Yes, we did already talk about the Deinonychus, but I will repeat what I said earlier. I think it's a great redesign. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm glad that it looks sufficiently different to the Utahraptor. Because one of my concerns when I first heard the news was that it was going to end up basically looking like a Utahraptor, just smaller. So yeah, I'm really happy that it's not. Now again, doing this to ensure I'm not using more pieces than I absolutely have to. Every single rock, kind of, I want to adjust the length and the height just enough to use as few of them as possible. Obviously, the more you, like, one of the problems of this sort of system, and I'll be curious to see how well Jurassic World Evolution 3 handles it, is that the more you stretch the object, the more low quality the texture becomes. So you can't do it for all of them, but you can get away with it. It just saves you some piece count. Piece count is going to be the word on everyone's lips for JWE3, I tell you now. There you go. Oh. It looks very plushable. Frontier should partner with Mateship for time plushies. Ark, me and Evo were talking about this earlier. About, like, that there needs to be more Jurassic World Evolution merchandise. Because there's some stuff that I would absolutely, totally pay for. Happily. You know, I think Evo mentioned a DIN, like, branded hoodie and stuff like that. I would happily get something like that. I find it very peculiar, actually, that we've had, like, 2 games, and they haven't come up with any merchandise at all for them. Like, it's very rare that you get, you know, a game that has been around now for 8 years? Evolution 1 was, what, 8 years ago? Something like that? And there is no merchandise for Evolution. It's a bit weird. I would definitely get a little Deinonychus plushie. I think it's adorable. Okay, I'm happy with this. Ooh. "2018 was when Jurassic World Evolution 1 released, Fletcher. 7 years ago as of 2025. Christ. I think I was still at university when it released. I think I was doing my teacher training course at the time.
Yes, yes, you were. Very much were.
Think we'll see more prehistoric park species added to PK in the future. Well, it's funny you should say that, because I've always thought it is a bit peculiar that we have, was it, in here, Meganora statue, Arthroplura statue. But we have no, you know, Meganora or Arthroplura in the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if giant insects came. Because those terrarium things they're planning for the compies would be really good for them. So I'm not going to clad every single surface with rocks, because personally I think that's a waste of piece count. So for some of these rock surfaces, I'm just going to use standard texture. Grassland. Is there actually a rock that's a bit more rocky? I don't want a rock that dark. Mud. Scrubland rock. Scrubland rock could work. Grassland dirt. Dirt. Sand, mud, dirt. Desert rock. Ah! Ah ha ha ha. That's more like it. Ooh. Ooh. What I will do is I'll put the occasional rock around, but I don't want to do it all the way. It's like I say, it's a waste of piece count. Troorodon, I think as of this year, Troorodon is back to being considered an actual valid genus. For however long that flipping stays. Oh, what fence was I using? No, I thought it was that one. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm still very curious to see what they are gonna do when it comes to rebirths species and how that's going to feed into the campaign, because I think it's quite clear that they are trying to distance themselves from certain aspects of the film. So I'm curious to see how it's going to factor in the campaign. By the way, I am still not 100% decided. That is what this Sunday is about. Sunday stream will be starting probably half an hour early again, like today, and we will have the big debate, and it'll be up to you guys to choose for me whether to get it or not. And on your own heads be it. Okay. So that's kind of the gist of the habitat. We've got one sleeping thing up here. I'm thinking we could probably do with another sleepy thing over here. Actually, I'm thinking let's put one down here. Actually, let's put 2 down. There's quite a lot of space for them to sleep. I'm surprised Rebirth and JWR3 going to be in the same universe. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like maybe in a special additional campaign or something. So it's not completely connected. Bloody Rebirth. Film has done no end of damage. Damage might be the wrong term. I think we're up to putting plants in. No, I think. These temperate scrubland. I think scrubland plants will work quite well here. What have we got in wetland, tropical, desert? Ah, grassland. That's what we want. Something like this. Start with over here. Stack objects, yes. Ah! Okay. That. Oh, some of these controls. One's a little large. I would love it if the camera could just stay where I put it. That would be so helpful. Hey, moly, that tree is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Oh, that's what I needed to do. Colt taught me that last stream. Why did I forget that? I'm just happy the Kentrosaurus is coming back, says Omega. Yeah, I mean, Kentro's one of those classic JPOG species, so I'm sure folks are happy that the Kentro is coming back. And yeah, like I said earlier, like getting anything back for, or getting them back without having to pay for them shouldn't be, you know, ignored. It is good. It's just I think potentially the wrong animals are coming back. Oh. Easier to use the wetland brush. Next wave of Jurassic World Evolution 3 videos will be about which animals get resold. Well, not for me. I've done one video on the roster. I shan't be tempting another in case I tempt fate. And it is 11. I would argue we've gotten a fair amount done for this include. I mean, we did also finish, you know, our lion habitat. Where are they? Oh, look, they're going for a swim. Anyway, yeah. And I think so far I'm getting used to this a bit more, but I'm still way off building anything as complicated as this, for example. Like, what? I didn't even know how you go about that. Well, I'm getting there. But yeah, I will see you guys on Sunday for the big do I or don't I debate. So I hope as many people come and tune into that as possible so we can have a lively conversation. And it will start half an hour early like today, just so we have plenty of time to talk. So I hope to see you folks there. But until then, enjoy the rest of your Friday evenings. Stay safe and good night.